Hello and welcome to more Nerdy Rodent Geekery. Today I'm having a quick look at neural neighbor style transfer. What is this, you may be wondering? Well, it's optimization based style transfer, isn't it? It tells us in the about section up there. Alright, let's have a look at some pictures, shall we? Pictures. Content, style, mix the two together. Okay, we know what's going on now, don't we? Yep, so let's have a quick look at the paper. Here is the paper. Right, now we're going to look at this really quickly because what we're going to do is we're going to look at the pictures. Let's ignore the words and we'll just look at the pictures. So there we've got a picture of a puffin. There's the original image, there's the style image, and this is what we get out. Okay, nothing too fantastic so far, it would seem. But let's scroll down and see what's going on. We've got some more pictures there. Okay, right, so we can see it's doing feature extraction. Alright, that's interesting. Yeah, let's have a look at some comparisons here. So we've got content, style, and oh, compared to these other ones, yeah, that looks good. But doesn't it always in the papers? But yeah, it's looking good. And here, again, content, style, output. Oh, alright, okay, show me more pictures. Okay, alright, that's interesting. Yeah, it does a bunch of stuff and you can vary it. Right, okay, let's have a look at more pictures. Ooh. Now that is rather good, isn't it? Here, we've got content and style, and we've got, well, yeah, look at these other versions. I mean, that's a very good representation. It's got the same style, and it's kept the content. I mean, compared to these other ones, ooh, yeah, and here again, content, start. It's starting to look a bit better, isn't it? It's starting to look a bit better. So look at this. Basically, it's really, really cool. So they did an evaluation here, user study. And in addition, we can isolate head-to-head preference rates between our algorithms and others for default settings. Our output is judged to better match the style 72, 67, 69, and 62% of the time relative to these other ones. Some of them are quite famous. So yeah, basically it's really cool. Although there are a few limitations and failure cases there that you may want to look at. But look, we've got a little grid. We've got some comparisons here. We've got, yeah, and look, green all the way through. Faithful colors, sharp and faithful texture as well. Look at that. Style, content, yeah, it does look pretty cool, doesn't it? It does look pretty cool compared to all the others. Yeah, every time this is the best one. It's the best one. All right, okay. I like using the best one. Yeah, do you like? Yeah, you like that as well? Okay, so let's use the best one so far. So here it is, NNST, probably the current state of the art in style transfer. So tested on this. I of course have tested on something entirely different because that's the sort of stuff I do. Tested with Ubuntu 20.04 Anaconda 3, which you can of course download there, anaconda.com. It's got all sorts of other different logos there. You can download that. Python 3.9. I am using PyTorch 1.11 because that's what it says at the moment is the current one on the pytorch.org website, and there it is. You can get your little install command there, stable Linux pip Python CUDA 11.3. Yep, that's the one I'm using. The current image I/O as well there, 216.2 and NumPy 1.22.3. Now, hardware requirements. Ideally, you will have that NVIDIA GPU, as always, with at least 12 gigabytes of VRAM. You can, of course, have half of that if you want to produce the little tiny ones, 512 by 512. So, depending on the size of image that you want to produce, that's your VRAM requirement. Yeah, okay, so 12 or 6, absolutely fine. There is a CPU mode, but it's only been tested a little bit and it's extremely slow. I mean, who wants to use a CPU? Nobody. Right, so of course, first thing you want to do, download that repo, get that code, however you want to do it. I love using git clone, but if you want to download it using zip or whatever, then that's fine. You will then, of course, want to change directory into your neural neighbor style transfer directory. I've got mine in GitHub, and then it's called that. There you go. I, of course, have already created my Conda environment, so I'm just going to activate it here. NNST. There it is. If you wanted to create that, you could do conda create -- name, and then you could give it a name there. You could use the same name as me if you wanted NNST. That's a good name. And Python 3.9, because yeah, I'm like that. I know it says Python 3.7 there, so it will work with these. I think that's like the lowest numbers you can possibly get away with. Anyway, so there we go. There's my pip3 install package from the PyTorch website, and I also install image I/O, and that's it. You're done then. You've got all the requirements. It's literally just PyTorch and image I/O, and NumPy and all that stuff gets installed as dependencies anyway. So yeah, It's that simple. And if you want to produce the example output they've got there, then they give you this little command you can run. So let's run that, shall we? Shall we run it? Let's see what happens. There, paste. Okay, it's happening. It's doing things. So this is taking the content path input content C1. So let's go and have a look at this, shall we? Input content C1. Oh, right. Okay, so we've got C1, and then the style is S4. So let's open up S4 as well. Style S4. Right. So that's a fairly famous picture. We've got our butterfly, and we've got our Van Gogh Starry Night there. So yeah, we're taking this picture, putting that style on it. Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Where's it outputting? It's outputting to output.jpg. So let's have a look at that. We'll just close those inputs down. There it is. Output. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Got a butterfly, and it's exactly the same as on the page, almost, isn't it? Doesn't that look cool? Doesn't that look cool? Right. Okay. So it's working. We've got things doing. We've got things doing. Right. So what else can we do with it? What else can we do? Well, we can make that picture a little bit bigger, because that was 512 by 512, wasn't it? So you can use high res mode, and you can also what it calls don't colorize, which is basically use the colors from the style image rather than the content image. So yeah, if you want to use the colors from the style, use the don't colorize option you've got in there. Now there's another thing that they do mention in here, which is do flip. Now that actually seems to be backwards from the documentation they've got here. So default settings actually appear to do the flip by default, and then no flip is the new option now. So yeah. And it uses a lot less VRAM if you've got maybe a little bit less VRAM and you put no flip in there, it doesn't use as much VRAM. So you may be able to get away with doing things on slightly underpowered cards if you try no flip, but yeah. Anyway, so there we go. All the options are there. You have to scroll to the end and you'll see the option there. So you've got high res is the option. And you've got this alpha here. You can change the alpha value between 0 and 1. I'll show you what that does in a minute. Do flip is the one they've got round the other way now. CPU mode, if you really, really want to try using your CPU, good luck with that. They've also got this optional experimental content loss as well. So you can do minus content loss on that. So that's the options. There are, it would seem, not that many options, but that's fine. Because it does a whole bunch of things. Now, there's also another little bit here. Example of using neural transfer on keyframes for video stylization. So if we have a quick look at this video, we'll pop over here. So there it is, NNST video stylization results, and it gives you a quite funky looking video. So there we've got the style image, there we've got the content sequence, and there we've got all these different methods. So we'll have a quick pause there. So here we can see NNST opt. So that's basically just doing the raw frames for that each time. This one is every 5 keyframes have been styled. So that's the 5 keyframes. And we've got these 2 different methods here. Now you might recognize these from videos if you've been watching my channel for a while. So one of them's EB synth, and the other one is effectively few shot patch based training. Yeah, so I've got videos on both of these already, so I won't go into those in any depth, but you can pop back and have a look at those if you want to know. But that's EB synth, that's few shot patch based training, basically. So that's every 5 keyframes, and as you can see, that one is not necessarily as deterministic as you would like it. So yeah, you might get a lot of flickering going on. It doesn't always change the thing exactly the same every time. But yeah, if you use it with EB synth or any of these other things, that's every 2 keyframes there. So yeah, it's still pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Got some different styles there going on. That's every 10 keyframes. So yeah, that's still quite smooth. Every 10 keyframes as well, isn't it? Pretty good. Storm Swan. Yeah. So if you want to do a bit of video stylization, you can do that as well. Looks like you could go all the way up to every 10 keyframes. Anyway, let's have a look at some things now. Right. So we'll show you the basics first. We've got some nerd examples here. So very first thing, I of course started with was doing style transfer on some faces. So there is an example face. Then we scroll up here. So this is playing with high res and this alpha thing. So I wanted to know, all right, what does this alpha do? What does it do? Let's have a look. There we go. Right. So there it is with alpha set to 0. And we are using a style, which I haven't got in there, but basically a charcoal style. So that's with alpha 0. And then you can slowly increase this alpha. And that's with the optional content loss one down here as well. So that's that experimental content loss. So with alpha 0, so without the content loss and with the experimental content loss, so you can see it is quite different. It seems to have more details with the content loss in there. But yeah, that's alpha 0. And then alpha 0.2, you can see it's sort of starting to keep the features a little bit more. And again, with the experimental content loss. And with the alpha up to 0.4, it's definitely keeping the features more clearly. And again, with the experimental content loss. And up to 0.6, which is close to the default. The default's alpha 0.75. So there you can see 0.6, very close. And again, with the experimental content loss. And 0.8, so this is above the default of 0.75. Yeah, it's got some very defined features there. And again, the experimental content loss. And with alpha 1, so that's keeping it as much as it possibly can. And yeah, we've got a pretty good drawing there, I think. Yeah, looks pretty cool to me. Okay. Now we've got a couple of other styles there as well. So we've got a chunky style, and we've got an oil style. Yeah, looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Now we've got a sort of psychedelic style. Yeah. Okay. How about some other faces? We've got some other faces in here. Again, that one there with the different styles. So we've got the original. Obviously, we've upscaled this a little bit. So 512 by 512 up to 1024 by 1024. And yeah, that's doing some pretty good styling. So let's see just exactly how good this is, shall we? Yeah. Okay, right. So here's the original face. There's the original face, and we'll go through a couple of these. So this one here is Discriminator. So that's the one of the other videos again on my channel. And this one's Neural Style PT. And then that one is NNST. And then that one is the Catherine Crowson one, Style Transfer PyTorch. So that's the original image. So Style Transfer PyTorch, yeah, looks pretty good. NNST, that's this one. Yeah, looks pretty good. Discriminator Style Transfer also looks quite good. Let's shrink that one down a little bit. And then you've got the Neural Style one in there. So as you can see, a lot of these have done quite well, but yeah, it's definitely this one that's the winner, isn't it? That one definitely looks the best out of all of those, I think. Anyway, it's pretty good. And that's obviously coloured copied the colours back, so colours from the source image, just to show you that the settings I did with these. So NNST, basically I just used the high res option. That's it. That took about one minute for every image. The Discriminator Style Transfer, that one, that was about 9 minutes per image. Can't do very big images with that, so that was only image size 896. Initializing with the content image and doing 800 steps. So I think that's like the second best, but yeah, a little bit long to generate. Neural Style PyTorch, that was about 3 minutes per image, which I think is that one. Yeah, Neural Style PyTorch. So that one can do the very large resolutions. Again, I've got videos for all these on the channel, so if you're interested, you can go back and see those. That does a multi-stage process up to 1920 by 1920. So that's the biggest one. Only takes about 3 minutes as well. So if you're doing really big style transfers, yeah, that's probably the one you want to go. But then you will get that quality. So and then Style Transfer PyTorch, the Catherine Crowson one up there. There you go. That's 1024 iterations on the 2048 initial iterations, dropping down to 1024, saving every 1024. And that again is a slightly smaller image. but yeah, it's just the default. So there you go. There you go. That's this one, and those are some of the others. So yeah, it's close, isn't it? It's close. They did do quite well. But let's have a look at some other styles, because that's the best one with regards to styles. Let's go with a more abstract one. So actually, we can show you the styles. So there it is. Okay, so that was the style used with that image. Yeah, okay, right. So we've got abstract. So that's the next style. So there she is again. That's the style we're using. Okay, let's have a look at abstract. So we'll throw this one in the middle. There you go. That's this repo. Yeah. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? That's pretty weird. All right, let's put that there. Make that a little bit smaller. Then we've got the style transfer PyTorch. Yeah, it looks different, doesn't it? It looks different. And the neural style, again, that's the slightly larger one. So we'll shrink that down, pop that there, and Discriminator style transfer will pop over there. So yes, that's very different, isn't it? That's very different. So that's, yeah. I mean, none of the others have done. I mean, that one's close. It's sort of changed the style of the face. That looks like, yeah. I mean, it's sort of done the colors, but it just seems random everywhere. That one's closer, but this is just it's like so much better. Yeah. Okay. Should we have a look at another style? Let's have a look at another style. Okay. Let's have a look at another style. Right, we've got the charcoal style here. This one's fairly easy to tell what the style image was. It's some charcoal drawings, isn't it? I'm trying to turn it into a sketch. You know which one's the winner already, don't you? Don't you? It's this one. Yeah. Let's make it a little bit smaller, shall we? A little bit smaller. Okay. So here we have the clear winner once again in the middle. Discriminator style transfer, PyTorch, and neural style. I mean, that was done quite well on the eyes, but it hasn't sort of transferred the style. I mean, it's stunning. Quite honestly, isn't it? Compared to these other ones, it's done a sketch. These other ones have kind of put a filter on. They've put a sort of blurry mess on, but this has actually produced a sketch. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I think that's pretty cool. All right, you want to see some more, don't you? Which ones work? Which ones don't work? Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so here's some graffiti. We'll open all those up. Pop those back. So, yeah, we'll put her over there. Keep that one in the middle. Get that a little bit smaller. And there's the discriminator. We'll make that a little bit smaller as well. Yeah, I know it's unfair making that big in the middle, isn't it? But hey, look at that. I mean, that actually looks like some graffiti on a wall, doesn't it? This is sort of merged in the colors. Let's show you the style. So this is the graffiti. There we go. So there's the style. Yeah. So you can see it's got reds and blues and all that sort of stuff in it. And well, because this has done the color correction back, you're not getting all these weird smears everywhere. It actually looks like the original content in a graffiti style. These all just look like something's smeared. I used to really like this one. But this one, I've got a new favorite. Haven't I? I've got a new favorite. Let's have a look at what else we've got. So we've got some spaghetti as well. This is just a picture of some spaghetti. You already know what's happening here, don't you? Style, spaghetti. There you go. So there's the style. Yeah, content, style, spaghetti. All right, okay. So there she is. That's style transfer PyTorch. Yep, that's our winning one there. That's our super high res one there. Let's put the high res one there, shall we? And then we got discriminator there. We'll put that over there. Yeah. I'm sorry. We'll take the style down and we'll put that one there. There you go. So, yeah, it's just really good, isn't it? There she is, made of spaghetti. I mean, that one did pretty well. I like the sort of spookiness on that one. That one's, the spaghetti is like, it's bad, isn't it? It's like you got mouldy spaghetti. I mean, the image looks quite good, but the spaghetti looks not delicious. I mean, that one's okay, but this is just so clear a winner, isn't it? Look at that. We got delicious spaghetti hair, spaghetti lips. It's done the colorization back. It's just like, yeah. It's cool. So there you go. You can do all sorts of things with it. You got high res mode, low res mode. Copy the colors from style, keep the styles from content. It's the best one. It's the best one. It gets the nerd seal of approval. There you go. Neural neighbor style transfer. I highly recommend going and having a play with that. Rodent out for now.